Okay, a quick four different questions. These are the ones. So if you want to try these at home, if you're practicing for your test, you can use these again because I'm pretty sure you forgot what the answers are. Just press pause, try these questions, and watch the rest of the video to see if you got it right. The first question gives you a graph and says, what's the equation? Of course, when you're given a graph, the first thing you should make, if you're going to find the equation, is a table of values for your three coordinates. The first one is 2 on the x and 30 on the y. The second one is 4 on the x and 36 on the y, and 6 and 42. So once you plot those 3 points that are on your graph, the next thing to do is look for your equation. So once we have that, our job is to find the coefficient and the constant in the relationship between x and y. The coefficient is first, and as we learned 1,000 times before, the difference in x divided by the difference in y will be your coefficient, which means 6 divided by 2 is 3. That's your coefficient. Take any of your ordered pairs. Just to be different, I'm going to take the third one and substitute it in. So instead of saying 3 times x, I'm going to say 3 times 6, because that's what my first x value is. And instead of saying y, I'm going to say 42. And since 18 does not equal 42, a constant is required, and that constant is adding 14. And therefore, this is the equation that represents all of the ordered pairs that we have, and it's also the equation, plus 24. Plus 24. It's also the equation that represents all of the y values and x values on that line. 3x addition, 3x plus 24 equals your y value. Your next question, what you're given is the table of values, and you're asked to graph it. So when you're given a table of values, your x values go up by 10. So it's real easy to just say 10, 20, and 30 because the spaces here are all equal. They're all 10s. And for your, oh, I did that wrong. So 10, 20, and 30. And for your y values, it starts at 100 and goes up by 40. So I'm going to put this little crushed line thing, and I'm going to start at 100 and go 140 and 180. And all of my spaces in between there are now 40 in length. So my 3 pairs, my 3 points are going to be 10 and 100, 20 and 140, and 30 and 180, which if it was graphed better would make a perfect line. And now it says that's the graph, so that's done. Graph is made. And the equation, the relationship between x and y, find your coefficient first. 40 divided by 10 is 4. Take that partial equation and substitute your x and your y values. Since 40 does not equal 100, you need to have a constant of plus 60 in order to make that work. And therefore your equation is 4 multiplied by the x value plus 60 equals your y value. We good so far? And your third and final question, that's not a bonus question, gives you an equation, says what's the graph. So when given an equation, as Donnie will tell you, make yourself a table and randomly assign values to x. We've already agreed that 1, 2, and 3 are the best. Yeah. And once you have that, take your equation and substitute each of these for the x and simplify it. So 3 times the x, 6 times x minus 3 equals y. So if x is 1, y will equal 3. If x is 2, if x is 2, this is 12 here, y will equal 9. And if x is 3, y will equal 15. So what we've done is we've just created 3 points. I made a mistake today? No. So once we have those 3 points, what we're going to do is we're going to put our 1, 2, and 3 on our x-axis. And we have to go 3 to 15, so I'm going to go up by 3. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I'm going to count by 3s. 1 and 3 is there. 2 and 9, 3, 6, 9 is there. And 3 and 15, so we have 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15. And therefore, that's our line. And on that line, we can put our equation. And the last question that for was your bonus question. You got the line in the graph. It said find the equation. So here we're going to put our x and y axis, our x and y columns in our table of values. X in the first one is 1, and the y is 30. Now the second one, sorry, it's not really well drawn, but it's 1.5 on the x and 32 on the y. And the last one is 2 and 34. The difference here is 2. The difference here is 0.5. And 2 divided by 0.5, or 2 divided by a half. If I took my calculator and said, what is 2 divided by 0.5? It's going to say 4. Or if I change this to multiplication by the reciprocal, I would also get 4. So either way I do that, the difference in the x column, or y divided by the difference of x, is 4, which means that's my coefficient. Substitute your ordered pair, your first one. Since 4 does not equal 30, I need a plus 26 constant, and that's your equation.